Yo, so check it. We're omnipresent, multidimensional, sentient beings because we're made in God's image. I know y'all heard that we are light because we are literally the stars. As I said countless times before, we are energy. This is why we have entities called light bearers, because they trapped our energy in this matrix. So in this dimension, what we call energy is electricity. And electricity look a lot like stars because they're both forms of energy. So originally, the place we call heaven was the only space in existence. And it consists of man, which is God's image, the Pleiadians, and the Greys, along with other creations that we made. So this means there was no abyss, which is the black hole we're currently in, because we fell in frequency during the war in heaven. This is why anything from heaven that is now here in the underworld or the abyss is called the fallen angel. Anything from the underworld that went into heaven because of our fall, they're called archangels, meaning archon. So during our fallen frequency, it created ice wall, which we call Antarctica. There is way more land than what we know of. We're just in the middle of Earth. So in Genesis, the beginning, it literally tells you that we're basically in the black hole, and what they did was recreate everything from heaven and place it in here with us. So we don't know that we fell in frequency and we're not in heaven anymore. So this black hole ultimately led to the creation of the underworld, and the underworld led to creation of the pit, is what we call hell. Now y'all should watch my video. It's called The Creation of the Underworld. It literally explains Genesis. It explains the beginning of everything of where we're at right now, but not the true heaven, this matrix. So none of this existed until God El wanted to create his own race of gods to serve him. But these entities end up being of lower vibration. But some was able to manifest spirits, making them sentient like us. And these beings are the 7 gods of the 7 planets that took over Earth. Also the entities mentioned in the Bible and created the Bible. I share these solar cameras all the time, but this is May 3rd. This is what's outside the Skynet. We can't see it, but they project the images upon the Skynet so we don't notice that we aren't in heaven. But as y'all can see, planets are just larger stars, and they have poles that follow tracks. This is how they're able to orbit around us. But like I mentioned before, back in 2014, which is really 2012, Lilith, which is a god of Venus, broke the poles off Earth, preventing our original reset, which caused the Mandela effect. So it's taken over 10 years for us to come back to the same position for the reset, which should be in 2025, which is the last year for this Earth. So back to this, notice how Mercury blends in but not Jupiter? It's because Jesus is the god of Mercury. They mentioned several times that Jesus is the closest thing to the image of man. This is why his planet looks like a regular star, because we are the stars. Where y'all think the term superstar and all-star come from? So during the creation of the underworld, the entities became more and more man-like because they experiment on us, trying to recreate the image of God. Here's another view. You can see the poles now on all of the stars. Again, which is us. As I said before, we are multi-dimensional beings. We have more power than the elites because we are the original entities of existence. We have abilities we can't understand because of their brainwashing. Anyways, y'all be guys. Peace.